This is the FitFems movement. Have you felt overwhelmed with your fitness journey and feel like you just want to give up? Are you a busy female professional or entrepreneur looking for weight loss and self-care solutions that you can squeeze into your hectic schedule? Then you're in the right place. Let's get inspired to make fitness and healthy living improve rather than consume your life. Together, we'll take major strides towards a happier, healthier, even wealthier you. I'm Julia Hickman, your host and coach. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the FitFems movement. Today, I have Lany Sullivan with me, and I'm very excited to chat with her, especially since I've been talking with you guys more about my new business. Lany is also an operations professional. She is a fractional COO, and I'm going to let her tell you guys more about what that means specifically, but really, her genius is in operations, business operations, and helping business owners maximize their profits. Lany, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit more about you, how you got started in being a COO. Tell us what is a COO and all that good stuff, please.
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me be on here with you. And this is great. I'm super excited to talk with your audience. A COO, Chief Operations Officer. So it's encompassing everything in the business that is tied to operations. And I didn't naturally fall into it. I did innately fall into it way back in the day, but it wasn't really operations. I've been doing business management in some form or fashion in some capacity since I was 19. And I naturally just evolved into operations management. I don't have any formal training, but that doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 24 years now. So I think I just gave away my age.
I was going to say, you don't look like you're that much older than 20 something. So
well, bless you. So I've been doing this for 20 years in different industries. So I started in the finance space and running $10 million portfolios. And we had to be really dialed in on the state, federal, and company audits. So it really taught me what I needed to know about finance, HR. I was in lending. So it was all the pieces, but then the infrastructure of a business, what is required to maintain and run a business. And so that's how I learned. I dipped my toes in the water, and actually I might've almost drowned a few times because there was a lot to learn. And now I work with small business owners that are anywhere between 250 to 3 million in revenue. And I'm a fractional COO for them. So I just come in, I'm specialized in the operations work, and depending on who they are and what they need, I'll help train their team and their operations. We set up their systems, their processes, their workflows. I help them identify who they need to hire, how they hire, how to prepare for that new hire, and really how to take their systems and their operations and actually become more profitable and be more efficient.
Wow, that's amazing. And I so appreciate the work that you do, because as someone who's also on the operations, I guess I'm more on the marketing side, but still like sort of more behind the scenes of in this whole online space. It's there's so much involved, so much that goes on behind the scenes. And, sometimes we see these big business owners, and the reality is that they really wouldn't be where they are without their COO, their right-hand person. So it's such a great career, I feel like. And I feel like you said, you don't really need to have any it's not like you need to have an MBA or anything, but it is nice when you have some sort of experience that you can kind of translate into what you do. Mm-hmm. So now I'm curious, Lany, you work with these, high 6-figure, 7-figure business owners. What do you tend to see as like one of the biggest headaches that they have when it comes to hiring?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, with hiring, the first issue is trust. The biggest issue actually is trust, because we as the business owner, like if this was your baby, this was your real kid, like this is your baby. And so to be able to trust somebody to take on work, to trust them to do the work the way that it needs to be done, without micromanaging them and massive oversight is really hard for a lot of business owners to actually delegate and let go of the work, because they feel like nobody else can do it the way that they want it done, or the way that they're doing it, or the way that they see it to be done. And what has to happen, it's actually a big mindset shift, first and foremost, of I need this, and I'm going to trust the person that I'm going to hire to do this work. But to trust them, you actually have to set them up for success as well. And that's the second issue, is they go, oh, I need to hire a VA. Okay, so let me just tell you, stop hiring VAs. You don't need like 3 or 4 or 5 VAs. You might need a VA, but stop hiring them without actually preparing to hire them. So first of all, you have to be willing to give up the work, and you have to be able to identify the work that you are doing. So I have a process called Love, Hate, Delegate that I take all of my clients through. And we identify
more.
Yes. So we identify what is on their plate as the business owner, COO or CEO, excuse me. And we sit down, and it's a process. It's not a simple process, because if you start thinking about everything that's on your plate, from accounting to marketing to client management to creating, images and social media and engagement, and it starts to kind of snowball, right, of all the things that you're doing as a CEO. But if you write down everything that you're doing, and then we go through and we go, what do I love to do? What is it that I love to do? Mm-hmm. And we identify what they love. And those are the things that we keep normally, not always. So just because you love it doesn't mean you should always be doing it. Yeah. So I always look at when I say what you love is what brings you joy and what makes you money. Now, what brings you joy, again, may not be something that you should be holding on to, but if it's still bringing you joy and it's keeping you focused on, moving things forward in your business, then I'm all for it. But if it's not producing income, you need to get rid of it. Because most business owners that I work with, they are the main revenue generator in their business. They don't have a sales team. They don't have a VA that's doing sales for them. They are the person that's closing all the deals. So if something is taking time away from you making money in your business and actually increasing your income, then those things need to be delegated out. The other side of that is, what do you hate? And now, so I'll tell you, I really hate social media. Hate social media. And I instead of delegating it out, I just ignored it. So the things that you hate are like the things that you are ignoring, you're procrastinating on, that you don't want to do, or you're doing it and it's giving you that like gut wrenching, like, I really despise this process, right? I really despise this task, but I have to do it. Accounting, I'm not, even though I have a financial background, I am not an accountant. I don't like dealing with accounting stuff. I'm like, I delegated it. I was like, and now I'm so happy. Like, I don't have to deal with it. I get a report. Somebody else does all of my numbers for me. And I get a report every month. Not that I don't know my numbers already, but I get the actual reporting. So I don't have to create the reporting anymore. So there are pieces of things that you have to do that you hate, and that you cannot delegate out. But again, if it's not generating you income, delegate it out. I'm all about increasing revenue, profitability, that moving that forward, because we're all in business to make money. I mean, we got in for a passion and a purpose and to serve other people, but at the end of the day, we got to pay the bills, right? Mortgages, rent payments, car payments, got to put the kids through school. Groceries are always nice to eat. So yes. if you're not making money, it's a hobby. And I think most business owners and most of us, that are in this are going to, have that same agreement. So really identifying those, what you love and what you hate. But when it comes to hiring, when you're going to delegate out, you really need to look at the type of person that you're going to hire versus the type of work that you need to delegate. So not every virtual assistant, not every OBM can handle the work that you need to have delegated out. Sometimes you need a higher level person. So you might need somebody like me who's an operations expert, fractional COO, operations manager. Not all OBMs and OBMs don't like me very much because I'm not very kind to them sometimes. But to me, an OBM is a glorified VA. And they're just charging more money and they're not really giving you more than your traditional VA work. Not that there's not some really great OBMs out there, not that there's not some really great VAs out there, but what you have to determine is, what do you actually need in your business? It might not be an OBM. You actually might need an operations person. You might need a marketing person. You might need a social media specialist, right? You might need somebody who has those expertises, that lives in those spaces and knows them, head to tail, right? Front to back. Like, you need somebody who can look at your business. I can walk into any business and tell you exactly what's wrong. Even in like marketing and social media and all of the pieces. Now, I don't do all of those things and we're not going to fix them, but I can say, hey, you need to work with a marketing person. Hey, you need to work with a social media person. So you need to be able to trust somebody to come into your business and say, these are the things that need to be fixed in your business, or going to somebody that says, these are the things I need fixed in my business and help me fix them. But you have to trust and identify first. And that trust is a huge thing.
Wow. Yeah, that's really, really great advice. I feel like it can be so overwhelming for people to allow themselves to trust someone, to like let go of, their baby and hand off a little part of it to somebody else. I mean, not that they're giving a piece of their business, but just like a task within their business that they've been holding on to. And one of the things that I see so often is like people try to delegate things that they don't love, but they need to at least understand. So it doesn't mean that they need to do it, but they need to understand. I see a lot of this in like social selling. So like people, I see these, in my coaching groups that I'm in, very big entrepreneurs who think, I hate sales. I hate selling. So I'm going to hire a VA to sell for me.
Right.
And then they're complaining like, oh, I had to let go of my, I had to let go of my team member. And it's like, because you're not hiring somebody who specializes in that particular thing that you need. Or I see it, with people who hire somebody, I've seen this a couple of times where like people hire somebody to help them with our podcast. And it's like, they're hiring somebody overseas who has who's just like kind of checking things off a box, but has no way of helping them understand, okay, like what type of content should you be putting out there? Like somebody to sort of be their partner in that particular marketing piece that could be a really great marketing tool for them if they're doing it the right way. So yeah, it's just so funny that, it's either people like love something and they want to keep doing it, but they really shouldn't be, or they hate something, but they need to kind of love it a little more, but they want to let it go. So
there's
any advice that you have for an entrepreneur who might be listening, who's like, oh, that's so me.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, you should know everything that's going on in your business, even if you hate it. So you are the visionary. They are not the visionary of your business. You are the visionary of your business. So you should have a really clear direction of where you're going in your business and what you want to have done, what it looks like. You don't have to know how to do everything. You just need to understand, these are the things that need to move forward in my business. And this is how I'd like them to be moved forward without breaking down every single task, right? I have a client right now that we're building on an entire, new database for them. I just gave it to my assistant. I know exactly what we need to do, but she's going to build it. I don't build databases. She does, because I hired an expert who knows how to build a database, right? So that's one side of it. You need to know everything that's going on in your business. And the second piece that ties into it is strategy. You're either hiring a strategist or you're hiring a task person. So you need to look at, do you need strategy? Do you need to hire somebody who can support you and come up with ideas and innovate with you and be creative with you, and then also integrate and implement on that? Or do you just want to give somebody a list of tasks, right, to check the box and do? So that's the difference between hiring a specialist and hiring a VA. is hiring a VA, you're giving them a list of instructions and a list of items and saying, go and do. Now, if you want your VA to come back and say, hey, look at this, or think about this, or think about this, then you need to look at a specialist.
Such great points. Thank you so much for sharing that. So before I let you go today, Lany, tell us what's coming up for you. Where can people follow you if they want to learn more about you? Anything on your world?
So I'm on Facebook and on Instagram, just under my name, Lany Sullivan. On Instagram, I'm at Lany Unleashed. But I'm actually launching a 5-day challenge for Love, Hate, Delegate to walk you through how to, how to dive into what you love, what you hate, what you delegate, and going through some trust issues and stepping into how to build out those processes to allow you to sufficiently, excellently, and successfully hire your team members. So I'll share the links with you so you can pass them out.
Perfect. Yes, we'll have that in the show notes. Lany, thank you so much for being my guest today. I'm so glad we had this conversation. I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about because, like I was telling you before we recorded, I see so many entrepreneurs who are just doing the wrong things when it comes to hiring. And I'm definitely no hiring expert, but and that's why I wanted to bring on somebody who is. So, or somebody, who understands and who has that big vision of operational and the best ways of supporting an entrepreneur. So I'm so glad that I had
Thank you for listening to the Fit Femmes movement. I would love to hear your thoughts on the podcast. So please leave us a review. And sharing is caring. If you know someone who may benefit from this episode, please share it with them. We need more women up-leveling to their highest selves with grace, courage, and ease. If you'd like to connect with me more and have access to free live trainings and join a community of hundreds of other amazing women, then join my free Facebook group, the Fit Femmes Tribe.